Let me come again. Welcome to Teacher Development Webinars. My name is Amanullah Sand. I facilitate virtual programs at Teacher Development Webinars. Teacher Development Webinars is a social action project implemented by British Council Active Citizens in Pakistan. It is an initiative to support teachers around the world with professional development opportunities. We are thankful to Master English Training for sponsoring a Zoom account. And in our today's webinar, we'll be exploring about using educational technology in teaching and learning process and learner-centered approach. We'll also examine how it works and facilitate both teachers and students, especially in this prevailing pandemic situation. For our today's webinar, we have Mr. Zafar Bangash. Zafar Bangash is an English teaching professional and educationist. He holds a master's degree in English literature and linguistics, TEFL, and education. He is certified from Iowa State University for the course using educational technology in English language classroom. Zafar has extensive experience in teacher training and syllabus designing for English language learners. Over to you, Zafar. Take us away.
Okay, thank you very much, Manullah.
You can share your screen now.
Right. Okay. My screen is visible?
Yes,
okay,
but if you can make it in slideshow.
Right. So thank you, Manullah, for inviting me here. I'm honored to present what I am asked to deliver to my worthy teachers around the globe. For today's topic, I have chosen a flipped classroom utilizing technology and learner-centered approach. If we look at today's age, education is shifting from a traditional way of teaching to the modern techniques, strategies, and approaches. In fact, education has become a science with new methodologies, innovations, and strategies, approaches, and many, many things. So in this world of technology, we also need to change our mindset towards teaching. It's the utmost need of the day that we should focus on our teaching and change the ways in which we are learning and which we are teaching to our students. If we look at the developed countries, what are they doing in this field? Basically, they are focusing on the bringing technology into their classrooms and education. Technology is not only related to our daily lives, like for example, we are taking help in communication, in transporting, and many, many things. But technology also helps us in making our students more effective, making our student more creative, making our student more motivating. So as far the flipped classroom is concerned, so it's a neat idea. It's all about learner-centered approach. Before starting the about flipped classroom, let me introduce a little bit about learner-centered approach. In traditional way of teaching, if we look Teacher is almost busy in the class. He works in class while students are listening just passively. In short, students are passive while teacher is active in our traditional classrooms. In modern methodology and modern approaches, we need our students to be active in class. So here it doesn't mean that teacher should be passive in class. Teacher should play a role of a guide. Teacher should play a role of a counselor. Teacher should play a role of a mentor. Another thing which is very much important in this regard, that is basically timing, our class timing. In class, we usually have 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or 1 hour class. So there, if we see the teacher is almost busy and teaching students, giving lecture to the students, and students are listening to a teacher. So what a teacher do in a traditional classroom, he introduce a topic in class, and teacher and students just work on that topic, what the teacher asked to him to do or asked to him to learn. So flipped classroom is basically, uh, it is a learner centered approach, and it is basically opposite of traditional teaching. What do we do here? A teacher is responsible to introduce the topic for students outside the classroom. So how does teacher do this? Teacher make a video, he involves a third party or asks students to go to a particular link, a particular application to study that topic which the teacher assigned to students to work on their homes. Basically, the flipped classroom is an idea in which students are introduced to content at home and practice working at school. So, what are the goals of this flipped classroom teaching? It's a learner centered approach. We focus on learner. Apart from this, we also focus on exploring technology because, as I already told, that technology is very much important. We can utilize it in our day-to-day lives, but especially in education, technology has become an important tool. So we should explore technology, how technology helps us in learning. Another goal of this flipped classroom learning or utilizing technology, that we should adopt modern methodologies and techniques. As I told before, that in traditional classroom, teacher is just the center of all the activities in a classroom. So as far modern approach is concerned, there a learner is the focus of all the activities in the classroom. And another goal, that is of course break the shackles of traditional methods. So another thing for which I want to quote some prominent educationists and prominent teachers, trainers, what they say about technology. Technology will not replace teachers, but teachers who use technology will replace those who do not. Jean Piaget, a famous educationist, he says, the principal goal of education is to create men and women who are capable of doing new things not simply repeating which generations have done. So by this, what does Jean Piaget mean? He mean that we should look for innovations. We should look for new ideas. We should look for new thoughts in order to bring revolution, in order to bring change. Mark Dorin, he said, the art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. So teaching is not only a science, but it's a sort of art as well. That what new we discover and how it helps us. So modern linguists, modern educationists, and those who are working in the field of education uh, are working on bringing technology into classroom. So flipped classroom is one of the step of that technology which we are bringing in our classroom. So before going further, I would also like to talk about technology, that how does it help? It helps us in engaging students in their homes. They can do their homework, they can solve exercise, they can do quizzes, they can watch online videos, they can read, they can improve their vocabulary, they can improve their listening skills, they can improve their speaking skills, many things. And there are a lot of tools, like simple tools. We have, WhatsApp, uh, we have Facebook, right? These are the most popular tools among the new generation. So they use this one, frequently. Then we have some other tools. Uh, Students and teachers are not aware about those tools. And those tools are very much easy to run, very much easy to utilize. So at the end of this presentation, so I will introduce those tools from which we can get benefits to in order to make our teaching effective in our classroom, in order to make students learn effectively and productively. So teaching, again, I would like to say teaching is not, that rotten way of, traditionalism or traditional approach. So there are many drawbacks of that traditional approach. So in this fast moving world towards technology, we need also to introduce ourselves towards technology and make students familiar with the technology. So coming towards flipped classroom, basically the main step, the main step which we should take in flipping the classroom, number one is what students are supposed to do at home. Students watch online videos on the given topic. The teacher is responsible for assigning the topic for students. For example, if I'm teaching a students, for example, a very simple topic I would like to select. For example, I've taught my students present simple tense. Or for example, I've taught my students about phrases. Now I want to teach my student about clauses. So I will ask the student to watch that topic in their homes. So how can I introduce that topic to my students in their homes? So I can involve a third party. I can ask my students to go to YouTube. I can ask my students, like for example, to go to Khan Academy. I will introduce that later. I can ask my student to go to a particular link and watch the video on clauses. Or I can make a video for my students and send that video on WhatsApp to my students. Okay, or I can make a students on any make a video for my students on any application and ask my students to watch that video. So student watch that video in their homes, and apart from that, students can also read, some physical or digital text. They can explore, they can research about that topic by browsing or moving to different websites. They can perform research. Again, laptop or mobile phones, students have mobile phones at their homes. If a student doesn't have any mobile phone or laptop, so definitely someone at our homes do have some tools like any tablet or any laptop or any mobile phone, so he can perform research about that particular topic. Apart from that, students can also participate in online discussion. They can connect to their class fellows, they can connect to teachers, they can connect to any other person from the world. As we know that world has become a global village, so he can connect himself with anyone regarding the topic. So basically the idea is what, that teacher introduce the topic in classroom, sorry, for students in their homes. So student work on that topic by watching videos, by reading about texts, by doing some sort of research, or discussing with anyone, online discussion. So when the students do all this activity at their homes, so what they are supposed to do at school, when they come into classroom, what they are supposed to do, they practice. How they practice? Skill practice. Teacher will be, or teacher may be a guide for them, or teacher may not be a guide for them. Face to face discussion and peers or groups. So teacher can make groups, or teacher can make peers in order to discuss that particular topic. So here the important thing is, sometimes a student doesn't know about a particular concept. What's a teacher need to do in this regard? Teacher must be motivating. Teacher must be cooperative in classroom. If our teacher is not cooperative or not motivating or not a good guide, so the idea of flipped classroom is failed. Why? Because teachers, students are practicing and teacher is guiding them. Teacher is cooperating. Teacher is mentoring. Teacher is, supervising all the activities in the classroom. So teacher asks them to discuss all the topic which he has introduced to his students. So apart from that, when skill practice or face-to-face discussion or peer discussion is done, so the other step is what? Presentation. One of the group, one of the peers, or one of the students can present that topic in front of the students. Apart from this, peer assessment and review, so we can, students can give feedback in their classroom to other students. Okay, they can assess each other, they can assess one another by looking at the performance. One thing I would like to share here, that there are pros and cons of each and everything. There may be merits, there may be demerits. Some critics say that if a student is introduced in his home to a topic, so how can he ask a teacher for a particular concept if he is not, learning effectively, and he is not getting the point effectively? So what he can do? A teacher in this regard, it is very much simple, not that much difficult. There are two things. Number one, a student may or can connect to the teacher. So flipped classroom is basically what teacher is needed, extra effort. Teacher is just needed an extra effort that he may be, connected to their students have needed. So student can ask a teacher virtually, student can ask the teacher by texting, or student can ask the teacher by recording a voice message. So and the response teacher will send that idea or the thing where a student face the problems, so teacher can clear that one. Apart from that, a student can also go for research, go for discussion, online discussion with students, go for online research. This is one thing at home. Another thing, if a student is facing any difficulty in any particular point, so in classroom he can ask teacher, so teacher can guide him, teacher can cooperate, teacher can mentor him. So it's not that much a difficult thing that how can a students how can a student be able to understand a particular topic. This is my personal experience that I introduce my students to different topics and ask them to go when they go home. So they should watch that video on YouTube, or watch or read to that text on particular link. So when they study all the things, so they connect with me on Skype, they connect with me on WhatsApp. So I guide them, I cooperate them. The main idea of this Philip classroom is that the time we consume in our classrooms, it is mostly taken by a teacher. We do not give any time to students to practice, to have discussions, to have presentations, to have peer assessment, etc. The timing of introducing a topic or teaching a topic is given to students, and they work on that topic in their homes when they come to classroom. So this 40 minutes, 1 hour, or 50-minute class is you know totally given to the students. So students can show their capabilities, student can show their performances. In fact, students show what they have in their mind, what they have learned, what they haven't learned. So a flipped classroom is a reverse of traditional teaching. Again, it is a student centered learning, meaningful learning opportunities we do have here. So by meaningful learning opportunities, what I mean by meaningful learning opportunities, student again is open to research different websites, different links, uh, take different concepts about the particular topic. Again, when he goes back to classroom, so again there he has a lot of time, there he has a lot of time to discuss, to ask teacher. And traditional teaching, teacher doesn't have that much time to answer the student's question. He just consume time on lecturing. So here, when a student have sufficient time, so he can learn many things, he can ask many questions about the particular topic from the teacher. Critical thinking, this is very much important aspect of learning in today's world. If we look to our students, lack of critical thinking is the basic weakness in educational institutes. Those institutes who work on making students think critically, those institutions are succeeded. Why? If our student doesn't have, the ability to think critically, so he is nothing. uh, by nothing, I doesn't mean that he do not know about anything. By nothing, I mean that he cannot, create ideas. He cannot, give something new to the world. So critical thinking is very much important. So in this, we allow students to think about the particular topic. We give him an opportunity in classroom, in peer discussions, in group discussions, even at their homes. We give opportunity to students to think critically. Collaboration, collaboration. And again, traditional teaching, we do not have any collaboration, even on the part of the students or on the part of the teacher. A single figure is active in our classroom, that is a teacher. So in modern methodologies or modern uh, approach towards teaching and learning, that is collaboration. In collaboration, we learn things, effectively. We collaborate with each other, we discuss things, we research things, we put questions, we assess each other, we give feedbacks. And then again, problem solving skills, very much important aspects of learning. This critical thinking and problem solving, very much important aspect of learning. Our student doesn't have any capability to move towards problem solving. Again, traditional teaching is responsible for this. If we throw back, traditional teaching and adopt modern methodologies, so our student will be a problem solver. If we put any, point in front of them, so they will think critically on that, problem on that point, and then they will be able to solve that problem. So problem solving is very much important. So in this flipped classroom, we put a student in a situation. We gave him, just a clue, a hint. We introduce him to a particular topic. So there he sits and work on that particular topic. So he is solving his problem himself. So this is a great skill. So student, get problem solving skill. And again, active engagement of students. Student is actively engaged in flipped classroom. Another aspect is students remain independent. Student is always independent. How always independent? If we look at the traditional classroom, student work, within the limitations of time. Teacher works within the limitation of time. Here, students work at their own pace. At their homes, they work at their own pace. They definitely have sufficient time to do the things, to do researches. So they do not face any difficulties. Sometimes in our classroom, we do face difficulties, okay, by observing time. Sometimes, we do not have sufficient time to make a particular point clear or to make a particular concept clear. So for that, then again, we need extra time, and another day or in the other class we consume that time by knowing that particular concept again. Watch again and can revise. If we send, for example, a video to a student, or if we give a text to our students, or if we give any recorded voice to our students, so they are at their homes, students are able to watch that again and again. If he or she doesn't understand that topic in classroom, in our traditional classroom, so what do? We, listen to a teacher. We cannot ask, although yes, there are exceptions, we can ask our teacher, but again, we do have, limited time in our classroom, so we cannot ask again and again our teachers, so to please revise it, to please revise it, to please revise it. Okay, so here a student, watch again and again and again, and he can revise, or she can revise again and again and again. There are a variety of materials available at their homes in flipped classroom. In our traditional classroom, we do not have that much materials. What do we have? Just, a teacher's lecture, or just, some written materials which a teacher write for us in our classrooms. So at their homes they utilize, they can move for different materials like videos, like written materials, like graphics. Okay, again, like, discussions, it's also, we can say, a sort of material. If we discuss something, that then it becomes a material for us, because it's a sort of content. So variety of materials are there. There are, aids, different aids, and work in accordance with cognitive load. Very much important. This is very much important aspect. In our classroom, we do have students with different, backgrounds, especially some student may have, slow pace of learning. Some students, may have, I think some net problem is arising. Anyways, so
We can hear you well. Go ahead.
okay, okay, no worries about that. Okay, so work in accordance with cognitive load. Let me best first, introduce what is cognitive load. Cognitive load means cognitive ability. For example, if a student can learn, for example, if a student can learn 4 or 5 sentence paragraph. For example, if a student can learn a single mathematical question in 2 minutes, or in, for example, a student can learn a single mathematical problem or a question in 5 minutes. So what do we do? We, do that question for that students in 2 minutes. So again, a student will not be able to get that particular point, so we should give, time, proper time to each and every student. Sometimes a student may learn, for example, one topic in a single class. Okay, so what a teacher do, or what do we do in our traditional classrooms? We put burdens on students mind. We introduce contents, many topics. We introduce many materials, like, for example, uh, I would like again, to give the example of a math question. If a student can learn in 5 minutes one problem of math, or one question of math, so there is no need to put 2, 3, or 4 questions at that time. So it's, teacher student cannot load that, question. So in flipped classroom, student works according to his or her cognitive load, that how much can he or she get in 5 minutes, that how much he or she can get in 10 minutes, that how much concepts he can learn within, for the topic, within an hour, within half an hour, etc. So student remain independent in this regard. He works, or she works at their own pace. He or she can revise again and again and see the things or materials. Okay, variety of materials are available there. And again, work in accordance with cognitive load, that if student is able to learn one concept, if student is able to learn two concept, if student is able to learn three concept. So this cognitive load is, very much, important point in learning with the help of flipped classroom. Academic significance. What is the significance of a flipped classroom? Communication is emphasized in today's world. I I do notice even in my students, I do notice in students around the globe even, there is gap in communication. Students are not confident in communication. They cannot express themselves. They cannot even ask question. Okay, they cannot even engage their teacher. They cannot even engage their teacher in discussion. So a student do need a teacher to talk. A teacher do need a student to talk. A student do need another student to talk. So communication is emphasized. So student is open to ask question, to seek guidance, okay, to seek cooperation, to seek motivation. So communication is emphasized. So student is skilled in making him or her more confident in communicating things. Avoids cramming. So definitely when student think critically, when student is able to uh, solve the problem, when student is able to do the things himself or herself, so definitely he won't cram the things, he will get the things in his or her mind. Okay, again, responsible attitude in terms of that we make our students responsible in learning things, in getting concepts, and asking them to do the things themselves. Okay, he is not dependent just on the teachers. Again, application based approach. If we look at Bloom's taxonomy, what does Bloom say? uh, I would like my listeners or viewers to have this thing in their minds, okay, to focus on this point. There are many things which Bloom's has discussed, but the three most important things which Bloom's focus on: knowledge, understanding, and application. What is knowledge? Knowledge is basically information. So what is information here? Information is basically getting the concept. For example, if I say what is a cell, so this is a concept. What is verb? What is noun? What is clause? Different things. So if a student know about a cell, if a student know about a noun, if a student know about a verb, any particular concept, so this is what his knowledge, information. So we do uh, need our students to have knowledge. We see MCQs, objective type, tests, etc. So basically those are checking off concepts of the students, okay, checking their knowledge. Then we have understanding. What is understanding? Understanding is the things revolving around the concept, the things revolving around the knowledge, the things revolving around the information. For example, again, if a student have the knowledge of a cell, for example, a cell is a basic unit of life, or a cell is a building block of living organism. So for example, if I have this concept, I have this knowledge, right, about a cell. So what about other things? What does cell do? What are the things which are attached to a cell? What are the things which revolves around a cell? So this is understanding. Again, for example, if I say that mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, then DNA, RNA, genes, etc. So these are the things which revolves around a cell. Revolves around a cell means these are attached with the concepts, okay, of cell. If we know about a cell, that cell is a building block. So it is a building block. So what are the other things attached to a cell? What does a cell do? So this is what understanding. Again, I would like to give an example from courses. We do make our students to write a short question, short answer to a particular question. So this is basically what understanding of a particular topic, of a particular thing. So knowledge, understanding, then comes application. Application is basically, we can say it's a creation when we give a new situation to the student. So the knowledge and understanding which he has or which he possesses, which he or she possesses, so can he or she apply that knowledge in a new situation? So this is what application. So this is very much important thing. And flipped classroom idea, or we can say utilizing technology or taking help from technology, or making our teaching activity based, help students uh, to have application based approach. So it makes our students practical. They think pragmatically. They avoid cramming, okay. They they communicate, they express themselves, okay. They do things themselves so they can apply. So this is very much important aspect of flipped classroom idea, which has attracted me. This is the main point, okay, which has attracted me, the flipped classroom idea, application based approach. So we make our students, okay, to be application based. So again, we do have all forms of learning that is in our classroom. Again, I would like to say that we have oral learning, like for example teachers is just speaking and speaking all the time, okay. So we do not have that much visual learning things, like for example any slide or any graphics or videos or any visual aids, etc. Okay, we just look at the writings of the teacher. So in flipped classroom, when students work at their home, so what do they do? They learn orally, they learn visually, they watch things, okay, they watch different videos, they see things, even they listen. Again, problem solving. Again, they discuss with their peers, with their friends, with their group fellows, with their students. Even again, he asks or she asks his teachers. So all forms of learning is involved. In a traditional classroom, we do not have all forms of learning. So again, the last and the most important thing is student learning objective. If we do not have any student learning objective in our mind, so how can we teach? So what should we teach? How can we teach to our students? So this is SLOs are or the main focus. Uh, Even in today's world, if you look at the modern methodologies, modern techniques, teaching learning process, universities, schools, teachers, each and every man, if you come out, if one comes out of his house or any matlab hideout, so he or she would see students going to institutes, okay, teachers, professors, lecturers, many things, okay. So what is the main point? Okay, the main point of all this movement in the world is student learning objective, whether my student or whether our students are learning or not. If SLOs are not achieved, so our teaching or learning process is in vain. If SLOs are achieved, so our learning process is succeeded. So in this, sort of in this type of teaching flipped classroom idea, SLOs are effectively achieved because we introduce students to a particular topic and ask a student to learn blah blah things. Okay, so a student try to learn those things. So automatically SLOs are achieved. And in our traditional classroom, first, we teach and do not ask students to learn these, and these things. So SLOs are effectively achieved. So to conclude all my lecture, yes, do I have time? I think we have just 12 minutes remaining. So
Yes,
again, reconceptualization of the traditional approach. Okay, so we think about our traditional approach, that whether uh, we are succeeded in doing something creative or innovative in our traditional approach, of not. So definitely, we should think, we must think on our traditional approach. Okay, to throw it somewhere aside. Okay, and go with the fast moving modern digital world, because this world has become a global village, each and everybody knows about it. Okay, so in flipped classroom requires commitment both on the part of the student and teacher. Flipped classroom, if we are not committed to our learning, if we are not committed to our teaching, so we cannot make it possible. So commitment is very much important in each and everything. If we are not committed to our responsibilities, okay, or the things we do, so we would not achieve that our goals or aims. Definitely innovative teaching strategies. So this is uh, Anib, using technology or utilizing technology. So it is an innovative technique, or again it is a motivating technique, motivating in terms of letting students work their selves. Okay, do make some entertainment with their learning. Okay, they are not that much burdenized. Okay, they are not forced by teachers, like a teacher force, not force, like teacher somewhere compel them to do the things. Okay, in flipped classroom they are open, so it motivates students, right? Now coming towards flipped classroom apps, what apps should we use in our classrooms? There are a lot of applications, technology is there, a lot of things are there, but I have selected five applications. If someone browse internet or go to Google, so he or she can watch different tools, different applications through which he can make his or her flipped classroom possible. Number one is Edpuzzle. It's a video distributor, audio notes. How Edpuzzle, an easy and effective way to deliver videos in classroom or outside your classroom. It's not just a video distributor. With Puzzle, you can make the video come to life by adding audio notes and question. And Edpuzzle, we distribute or deliver videos to our students. So it also helps us making audio notes for students on particular video. So now again another question which participants may like to ask, that how can they know about all these things. So YouTube is a tool for us. So we should go to YouTube, okay, and give them a tutorial video on Edpuzzle. So there we will be having guidance how to run Edpuzzle, how to utilize it, and how to use Edpuzzle. Okay, then again we have book widgets. Okay, so there we have digital templates. There are digital templates, exercise already given. So what we are supposed to do, we just create or on exercise or on content put in those exercises. Okay, again someone can go to YouTube, okay, and watch a tutorial video about book widgets. It allows you to make interactive lessons. Book widgets provides strong digital templates of all kind interactive exercises. This is very much important, very much a handy application. You just have to add your own content to those exercises. Okay, then we have explained everything. This app enables you to make our your own interactive tutorials and presentations. We can make presentations, you can record everything you are saying, or you can draw pictures, you can add pictures, you can highlight and write, okay, many things. So this is very much good for presentations. So again, one can go to YouTube and watch tutorial video about explain everything. Okay, then we have TED. I like this application the most. In this application, it's a sort of library of original animated videos, and provide platform for teachers to create their own interactive lessons. Okay, so you can ask student, okay, to watch a particular video, a particular topic, so where you have already produced or given questions. There are MCQs. You can create questions. Okay, you can create quizzes. Okay, and TED. Okay, again, if someone like to know about this application, so he or she can go to YouTube and watch a tutorial video about TED. So the applications which I'm mentioning here are much easy to run, much easy to work on. That is why I have I'm advising these applications. Okay, and the most important thing, that is that we have videos not longer than 5 minutes. Okay, then we have Khan Academy. This app is famous YouTube. This app is famous for YouTube videos. So sorry for this. I haven't mentioned for. So now you can just go to their website and search for a learning video about the topic, or about whatever topic you want to seek, so you can watch or see that video there. Even a teacher can create a classroom, okay, and invite students to take some videos, or to take lessons, take a quiz, or this is again handy for learning. You can even follow your students progress from a distance. A teacher can supervise or can see his or her students progress. So Khan Academy is again a newly launched app, very much important. There are a lot of videos there. Again, one can watch tutorial videos on Khan Academy on YouTube. So these are the apps which anyone and everyone can utilize easily, and these are easily to run. So this was all about flipped classroom. Thank you very much for listening me.